Hello, vinyl community. I am doing a share post snowpocalypse that is heading to the southeast and I guess eventually the northeast and central United States. Not sure if we're going to be having power for the whole weekend, so I figured I would get this video done tonight because I don't know what's going to go on tomorrow. Of course, everybody's freaking out and trying to keep a cool head. And figured I'd do a little mood lighting here, so I don't have my main light on. We'll see how things work with the glare and all. But I got a VCLT from Scott Waters just a day or so ago, and I wanted to get that open and shared out before whatever the weather does. And I have a few other records that I've gotten in the last few days. I may share those. It just depends on timing. I don't want this to be too long, but Scott had contacted me prior to Christmas, and there was a Kiss Japanese 7-inch that I had that he was interested in doing a trade for. It was Heaven's on Fire, and he shared his extra list with me, ones that he's willing to get rid of, and I found one on his list that whether or not it was a fair trade, I don't know. I actually went with the Scorpions. I don't know if one's harder to get than the other. The Kiss was in pretty good. It was in good condition. Of course, that one was from the 80s, and the Scorpions was from the late 70s. But he was cool with the trade, and he said he was going to throw in some extra stuff, and I found some stuff to throw in for him too. So he's already received my package, and he did a share, I think, about a week ago. So this one just came in, and like I said, I'm going to go ahead and crack this open. Now, I do know one other record that he sent, because he had asked me if I had this particular record, and I did not. I had, I believe, what would be a second LP from the band, and I'll hold off and point out that particular band when I pull it out. But yeah, I have one of theirs, but I did not have this particular, I believe, their first LP, and Scott has since said that it was the original press, so that's very cool. And without any further ado, we'll start off with this here, which looks to be the 7-inch singles, and of course I know one. Which one should be the Scorpions, which I'm excited to get. I love the Uli Roth era. I'm great with all the Scorpion stuff, at least the albums that I do have. I like their 80s and 90s and 2000s stuff, but I especially love the 70s material. It looks like we've got a CD to one that I do not have. Now, I think Scott put this package together before I posted my last video on concerning some of the rap metal stuff that I got and hip hop. And this is XL and Death Before Dishonor. This was, I believe, not their newest one. Or at least I don't think so. Of course, without the lighting in here. This is 2019, so this might have been their most recent one. So I definitely do not have this. I was wanting to get more from the group, and so yeah, this is awesome. So I've really been getting into this Christian hip hop, and these guys have a little bit more of a metal edge to them. Awesome, very cool. All right, next up, we got some patches. Which that's funny because I had since got some patches too. Aerosmith, which I do not have any Aerosmith patches, so that's awesome. With Scott being such a huge Aerosmith fanatic, I'm sure he's probably got tons of duplicates. So that's great. And Deliverance, I do not have this particular Deliverance. I thought I had a pin laying around here, but do not have. I don't know if I have any Deliverance patches, and I love Deliverance. I have just about everything that Jimmy Brown has put out. I may not have, I've got the cassettes, I've got the CDs, I've got the records, and so awesome. We'll definitely find a place for that on one of my jackets. Next up, I see another CD, and I've seen this cover before. I've seen this listed online, but I'm not familiar with the band. I don't believe so. Malchius, The Evil House. This is Rox Records, and it is 2016, I believe. So this may be some death metal, maybe Christian Black. I don't know, but it will. It's Rox Records. It's all good. So it will be a welcome addition to the collection. And now we've got some of the 7 inches. Let's see if I can start with the one that I was aware of that was coming. So going down to the bottom here. Nope, this is not the one, but this is one I do not have. I've got a few Angel Japanese pressings. I do not have this one. So this is Rock and Rollers with, I believe, Marina as a B-side. So you can see the Japanese inner sleeve there, and not sure of a date on that one, but by the looks of it, I would say it was probably late, 70, probably 78, 79. Awesome. All right, next up, Real Ugly Live, Live. I guess that would be Live, not Live. Live, Suffer, and Struggle. So not familiar with that group. I'll have to explore a little bit to find out. That might be some hardcore, and I say that because there's 10 tracks and it's a 7-inch, so it's got to be either hardcore or punk, which is cool. Love that. Next up, Strong Intention, Each Day Lived, an act of defiance, and I'm gonna guess that's probably also some hardcore, maybe thrashcore or deathcore. I don't know, deathcore. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to. Looks like pressed out of California again. There's probably, I'm gonna guess, close to 10 tracks on here, so definitely some hardcore and or punk or slash punk. And here we go. This is so this is the one that I did the trade for. This is the Scorpions, and it is Pictured Life, which I love that yellow. It's got the scorpion there. It's got the guys. And I'm terrible with names, but the Scorpions bass player, of course, he's not been in the band for a while, but he just passed away within the last couple of days. Just saw that yesterday. So condolences to the band and to any of the fans out there that were, love this era of the band. Now, I know he was with the band, I think, up through maybe Crazy World, maybe even past Crazy World. I appreciate you being willing to trade me for that one. And then Grave Robber. Yeah. Scott had asked if I was into these guys, and I've gotten into them the last maybe half a year. I did pick up a CD last year. I've gotten some of their full-length records. They just came out with a new album, so I haven't gotten that one yet, but I do not have this. Love Hurts, which I'm going to guess is probably the cover song. Burn Witch Burn, Dark Angel Live, Army of the Dead, and this is a numbered, it says 216 out of 500, so limited edition. Awesome. Very cool. Thank you, Scott, again. All right, and got a full length here, and this would be Philadelphia. And so Scott told me that he had, now there's some other stuff in here, so I can't show you the cover just yet because there's some stickers, some promotional stuff in here, so I'll kind of slide that stuff out momentarily, and I'll share that. I'll share that once I get that stuff out, and then I'll share the record and then share that. So here we go. Philadelphia, that Tell the Truth. This is a Christian hard rock band from late 70s. I believe they were still releasing stuff maybe through the early 80s. If I remember correctly, I think they have 3 full lengths. 2 from that era, and then 1 that came later. I do not have their third one now, but I'll have their first and second. And it's metal, just more traditional, maybe kind of like, you know, early Judas Priest. Inner sleeve, which has, looks like, lyrics on the one side, and then the original. As I said, this is the original press, not the repress. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was Rox Records that did the repress, or if that was Girder, or one of the. I thought it was. I thought that it was Rox Records. I'd have to go back and look, but so Scott threw in just some promotional stuff, Boons and Brutal Planet. I get tons of stuff from them. Looks like a Deliverance sticker. Don't have that. We'll be sticking that with the Hear What I Say record. And from the next album after that one, The Subversive Kind, another sticker. Awesome. And Primal, which I do have that particular album. Got that one on record. I do not have their first one, so Humanicide. So I will stick that with that record. And Ritual Servant's first LP, which I only have on CD, the gold version, but I was told by one of the band members that they were re-releasing this on limited vinyl, I believe this year, 2026. So once I get that, I will stick this in there with that. And Patriarchs in Black. This was their most recent studio album, which I do have on vinyl. And they are, right now there's a pre-order for a covers album, a full covers album, and that's on No Life Till Metal. So those of you that are familiar with the band, if you're not familiar with the band, guitar player and one of the main player from Hades, and then that is Dan Lorenzo and Johnny Kelly. I think a lot of you would recognize him from Typo Negative. Both of these guys have played in other bands. They've been around for decades now. So really cool band. If you're not familiar with them, check them out. And which, here's another promo. So, and this one's got some of their other albums on there, which I need to check out. I mean, I've got Home. I haven't picked up any of these yet, but they're still available, CD and vinyl. I'm sure both of the I'm sure that the guys have have their own site, in Patriarchs in Black on Instagram and Facebook. So seek them out. No Life Till Metal. Very cool logo. Those are one's magnet, one's a sticker, and one cards that come. A lot of bands have been releasing these through Rox Records, No Life Till Metal, Girder, Brutal Planet. A lot of the CDs come with a limited, a certain numbered press that come with collector's cards. And so this, I'm not sure if this one was with a CD set. If it was, it's not one that I have, so I do not own this card, and that's very cool. And this is Harkson sticker, which I was thinking, I'm looking at my time here, it's almost 15 minutes, so I'm gonna wrap this up in a moment. I'm not gonna go through and share everything I've got, and I'll do another video in a few days, But I might as well, if I'm sharing that, I might as well share the record because that came in this week. So that is on Life Till Metal Records. It is still available. It is considered a full length by the band members. I would consider it an EP. It's it's borderline 20 minutes. I don't remember the exact time. It's pretty short. Some of the tracks are under a minute. There's a few that are up around 4 minutes and 3.5 minutes. Very much like Hyrax, and actually Lance and Steve Harrison, two gentlemen here, both were members of Hyrax. Mike Vega, I'm not sure. I'd have to check on him, but this is just a new band that the guys started up. Great thrash, really cool, and still available. So if you're down with Hyrax and you like your 80s and 90s thrash, check that album out. Thanks for watching. Those of you that are getting blasted by cold air and snow, stay safe, stay off those slick roads, and weather permitting and electricity availability, I hope to do another video in a couple of days with some new stuff. Thank you all for watching. If you wouldn't mind, click the like. If you know somebody else who's into metal music and just checking out other people's collections, feel free to share my page with them. That would be appreciated. God bless y'all, and until next time, peace.